Well, apparently Tidal Wave is getting a sequel called Tsunami, and the first 8% has been teased by Oniling himself. So is it any better? Well, I'm gonna be upfront with you, not by much. I'm not trying to hate, I really don't, but I can't find much positives about the sequel so far. I mean, without even looking at the level, 17k objects for the first 8% is actually ridiculous because the level itself doesn't even have impressive visuals to justify that high of an object count for the first 8%. But you know what? Okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because maybe he will optimize the level later on in the creation of the level, so I can't say for sure, but I'll look at what's actually there for sure, which is the decoration. And man, it is literally the same as Tidal Wave with no marginal improvements. Now, I will say that his color usage is better, opting to use a softer and darker shade of yellow, which blends in quite well with the blue used. So I guess that's a plus since most of Tidal Wave uses this obnoxious shade of yellow that looks horrible. Now anyways, the main issue I have is the disconnect between the block design and how the structures are built in the level. The block design, of course being all freaking cluttered and messy, typical Onilink style, does not go well with the very simplistic basic structures. From what I can see, the main design language of this level is a lot of wavy details to go with the theming of the level. And while I can appreciate the theming, it fits, it's too small and it doesn't invoke a sense of scale and grandness, especially for a level called Tsunami. Usually when you think of tsunamis, they're quite big, they're quite grand. And so you expect to see that in this level, but the wavy details just look very small and pathetic. It also clashes with the sharp edges and the very straight sides of the structures, which makes for a very jarring and disconnected experience to look at. I can give a recommendation for this, and the first recommendation is to make the structures more wavy and circular, or at least just make it more complex. Like 4 or 5 sided structures used in the level currently does not do the wavy details justice and just makes it look so out of place. Now, look, since this is the very beginning and the song hasn't started in its climax yet, you can keep the structure shape if you want, but make the details less wavy since it's like the calm before the storm, if you catch my drift. You can incorporate some wavy details and make them less prominent and just an accompanying piece for a different type of block design, so at least you have like a connecting theme throughout the level. And please, for the love of God, use less details, but scale it up a bit more. Scaling up details will fill the screen as much as the cluttered look that you're going for, but scaling up won't use as many objects and make the level unpleasant to look at because you are using less details. Another thing is to have a sense of order for at least the beginning, since making it chaotic and wild throughout the level will make it so that the level's climax is less impactful as you want it to be. So you're allowed to go wild, but only do it nearing the climax and on the climax itself instead of the very beginning, which doesn't make any sense in the first place since the song is still somewhat calm and chill, right? Then during the climax you can implement your current block design, but scale them up and make them circular, wavy and complex to accompany the chaotic and wavy theme of your block design. And also make them big, make them grand, make it feel like you're just going through a huge tsunami. Give it a sense of scale so it just feels more impactful. It feels more powerful because like Tidal Wave currently doesn't invoke that feeling at all. It just feels like a very weirdly themed glow level. It doesn't have that beachy or tidal wave feeling, right? It doesn't have that. So yeah, this is basically my opinion on the new sequel to Tidal Wave. There's a lot of potential, like I said, even with Tidal Wave there is a lot of potential, especially with the theming, but currently the implementation from what I can see is not that great. So yeah, that's it.